Hi there, these comments are for M. I'm using your initials for privacy purposes, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass a TOEFL IBT. And let's take a look at your situation. So you say, my name is M. I just took the TOEFL IBT exam and I got 71. I'm willing to enter I think here one is a better word. I want to enter an MBA program, but the university I want to apply. You got either two ways to say this, but the university to which I want to apply or the university I want to apply to. You need a preposition in there. And I don't think you need to worry about capitalizing the university unless it's the name of it, like the University of California at Los Angeles. I would definitely capitalize university there. You say, I have from now until August 2016 to study and practice. What would be your suggestion or comments of what? Be careful of your word order here, of what I should do. Because you're using this as a noun clause, remember the question is indicated, I think here, in the independent clause part of the sentence. So you did say, what would be your suggestion or comments? And then here, you have to make the noun clause a statement, which means connector, then subject, and then verb here. Waiting for reply, best regards. All right, well, the good thing for you is time is your friend. So you are thinking in advance. You're anticipating that you're going to have to study and practice quite a bit. So you're trying to give yourself enough time to reach your goal. In fact, you have almost 1 year to reach your goal. Remember, though, once you feel like you have really, really good English proficiency, at that point you can retake the TOEFL and get that high score. So don't wait until 11 or 12 months from now to take the TOEFL. You probably need to take it maybe 3 to 6 months from now to see how you're doing and then go from there. All right, well, I have some suggestions. I'm going to say start reading. If you're not doing this already, read every day for about 45 minutes. The important thing here is to get used to reading either newspapers, magazines, and longer books. Number 2, you can listen for about 45 minutes. This is also going to be very good practice. Now, for your listening, if you have English TV, you can focus on news, documentary, history, and especially science programs. So the main thing here, as you do this kind of practice, is you pick reading and listening materials of which you have an interest. Thus, you're more likely to do this on a regular basis if you actually read things that you have some interest in. You won't be that bored. Now, if you don't have English TV, you can certainly go on the internet. I'll give you 3 good websites that I recommend. National Public Radio. You've probably already heard of these. I think these 3 websites will give you some very good practice. Now, number 3, as you do the reading and the listening practice, you should get in the habit of note-taking. That means write down the main and the most important supporting points of the reading and the listening passages that you're practicing. This is important. In the beginning, as you start your note-taking, you will not do very well. Your notes will be incomplete, they'll be inaccurate. But as you practice, you'll get better. Now, after you join my course, I have 2 specific lessons to help you with your note-taking. You might want to write these down right now. So to help you with note-taking, I recommend reading and listening Lesson 1. Both of these lessons focus on note-taking when it comes to reading and listening passages, so check out that lesson. But this is not enough. So once you have notes, you should start. My recommendation is to maybe write 3 250-word summaries weekly. You should be doing these summaries each week. This is important. So you use your notes from a reading or listening passage, then you write about that reading or listening passage in about 250 words. You're practicing what we call summary or summarizing. Now, in addition to doing writing practice, speak. I'm going to say give maybe 3 60-second oral responses each week also. Again, it takes time, you practice, you'll get better at this, but you should be speaking about the reading and the listening passages that you're practicing. Now, this is what you're doing right now. Now, you have to set time aside each day, each week to do these things. Now, my recommendation here is 60% of your time is spent with steps 1 through 5. This is what you should do. So once you have free time, think about these things. Now, 40% of your time should be spent going through the lessons in my online TOEFL course. I'm going to give you some suggestions on how you can do this. Now, you got to remember, imagine a website that has skill building exercises with vocabulary, pronunciation, grammar, listening, reading, writing, and speaking areas. Again, you have approximately 700 lessons to help you improve in those 7 areas. So what you have to do is you have to be methodical. You have to start going through my lessons. You have plenty of time. You have over 1 year. I mean, think about this for a minute. Even if you're one of my students for 1 full year, it's not going to bust your budget that much. Remember, if you're in an intensive English program, it'll cost you probably $3,000 every 10 weeks to study English. Now, if you choose to use my website and not enroll in an intensive English program, and trust me, you'll get the same type of instruction. I teach in an intensive English program, so you will get exactly the same kind of instruction you would get if you're in an intensive English program. Now, for me, if you use my course for 12 months, that's $38 a month times 12. The most it will cost you is $456. That's not very much money at all, considering it's $3,000 every 10 weeks to study in an intensive English program. All right, so I can save you a lot of money, and if you're self-starting, you're self-motivated, right, and you don't have to have somebody reading or checking your homework every day or every week, and you know how to do these things, you'll be fine. Okay, so the next thing is you should start going through my lessons. So the first thing I recommend is to go through my vocabulary pronunciation and grammar lessons. These are probably the most important. So you're probably saying, well, Michael, the TOEFL doesn't even have a vocabulary, pronunciation, or grammar section. But trust me, if you can improve your academic English in these 3 areas, it makes it much easier for you to complete the reading, listening, speaking, and writing tasks on the TOEFL IBT. Trust me. Now, number 7. Once you've completed the vocabulary, pronunciation, and the grammar lessons, I'm not going to say exactly how long I think. I'm going to guess maybe 3 months. Probably a pretty good guess. Then you can go through the listening and reading lessons in my course. I'm going to recommend maybe here 2 months. Now, once you've done that, you should be ready now to tackle the most important or the hardest part of, I think, the TOEFL, in my opinion, the writing and the speaking. Remember, if you want to get over 100, your goal here is to get between 25 to 28 points on the speaking and the writing areas. And my course has enough practice to help you in those areas. So then I recommend completing the writing and speaking lessons in my course. Maybe you're looking at 2 to 3 months here. So this is probably a pretty good plan for you. So 40% of your time, you're going through steps 6 through 8, as I outlined in this video. And then 60% of your time, you're going through steps 1 through 5. You see what we're saying? Now, all of this is ungraded. That means I'm not checking it, nobody's checking it. You're just doing this for your own purposes, to get better. When you do your 60-second oral summaries, I actually recommend that you record them, because you need to get used to recording your voice. This is important. And then, of course, as I said, 40% of your time is going through the lessons in my online TOEFL course in these 3 different steps. So first of all, vocabulary, pronunciation, grammar. Then you can focus on the listening and the reading lessons. And finally, you can focus on the writing and speaking areas. All right? Anyway, this is my plan for you. I'm not going to recommend a 30, 60, or 90-day study guide for you. You probably need more time than that. I mean, obviously, your TOEFL right now is 71. You want to go to 100. That will take you several months. All right? Now, if you get restless, if you want to mark your progress, if you want to see where you are maybe after every 3 months or so, you can take a full-length IBT practice test on my website. If you go to the 8th section of my course, you can learn more about that. All right? Anyway, thank you very much, and all the best to your high-scoring success.